Yes, we're perfect. Okay, Rabotai, welcome. Thank you for coming. It's amazing to see everybody out here. Zera Shimshon of all Sfarim has a haftacha that if you learn it, big miracles happen to you. I like it personally. I've learned it here and there. I've heard it. I think it's amazing. But I find it to be, especially guys from yeshiva, gonna love it the most because it's literally, it's not those hard pieces of Gemara, but you're using the same skills and you're doing it on Chumash. It comes out beautiful. So we're gonna begin today and let's see how it comes out. We have in our Parsha this week a very interesting episode. Shelach lecha anashim v'yaturu. Send for yourself these messengers and let them go, these spies, and let them go and spy out the land. You know, right away things start to trigger. Shelach lecha, send for you. It's just for you, it's nobody else. Just for you, Moshe Rabbeinu, send for yourself. And it gets even more interesting because all of a sudden the names of all the Nesiim started changing. They all get some animalistic names. This one's Sus, and this one's another thing. And everyone all of a sudden transformed into interesting names, including someone that we know, that we've heard about often, Yehoshua, which we already used the name Yehoshua. All of a sudden over here we're writing, Vayikra Moshe et Hoshea bin Nun, Yehoshua. And if that would be the end of it, fine. Everyone's got a nice new name, and including Yehoshua. We got another interesting guy, Kalev. Interesting names. But it doesn't stop there. And Rashi goes and tells us, yeah, you know what really happened here? We added the letter Yud to Hoshea, giving him Yud Hey. And Rashi writes there, he quotes a Gemara actually, that Ka, Hashem, should be Ozrecha, should help you. As if to say, he did two things. He gave him a new name, and he prayed for him. He's praying for him, meaning he knows what's going to happen. I really feel bad, I'm praying for you. Whoa, it's favoritism. You're picking 1 out of 11, you're only praying for 1. What happens to everybody else? So these questions boggle the Zera Shimshon. And he puts out 10 drashot on this episodes. And he quotes a Gemara in Sotah. And if we understand this, what we're going to do in our lives change just based on the lesson that we're going to have here, even the first few minutes. So I'm going to read from inside here, and then I'm going to go into the Gemara. So he writes, Vayikra Moshe leHoshea bin Nun Yehoshua. He right away jumps into that pasuk, and he quotes Rashi, Yah Hashem Yoshiacha should save you me'atzat miraglim, from the plan, from the design, the plan that the miraglim are going to do. He should save you. Kasha, it's difficult. It's a question. Lama Hashem Yoshiacha? Why should Hashem save you? Why you need specifically Yud and a Hey? Rashi writes, I'm adding the letter Yud to the already letter Hey, and now Hashem could save you. So what, before he couldn't? Yeah, you're limiting Hashem only if you have a Yud K in your name. What does it mean? The Ode, and furthermore, he says, Shalafia Emed Lo Hosif Ela Yud. You only did 1 letter Yud. Matzorech L'Shnei Dvarim. Why you need 2 things, to add and to pray? Do 1 thing. It's enough. Sarah Imenu, and you should know, Sarah has to do with this parsha. Sarah Imenu was Sarai. I'm going to jump a little bit. The Gemara on Lamed Hey and Sota says they made fun of Yehoshua when he first opened his mouth after they came back, and they said, you with the broken snake, don't talk. A broken snake. And the Gemara writes there, one of the reasons they made fun of them, they said, because what are you talking about? Eretz Yisrael, you have no children. Yehoshua, you have no children. Don't talk about Eretz Yisrael, it's nothing to do with you. What they really were telling him, you're the guy that took the letter Yud from Sarai. Sarai couldn't have kids because she had that letter Yud there. We had to switch it out to Hey. Who did we give that Yud to? Gave it to Yoshua. Why was Yoshua going crazy to get into that land? He knew of the story of Mishanem Makom, Mishanem Mazal. If you change your place, you change your mazel. I had a personal friend who couldn't have children. Whatever he tried, he ended up adopting everything. He went to Eretz Yisrael, 6 kids, twins. Twins after twins after twins. Where did this happen? So Yoshua knew this, and he just was dying to get in. But you see that the letter Yud that Hashem, that we put onto him. Now, why did we have to put the letter Yud to begin with onto him? And the answer is as follows. If you take the gematria of Ga'ava, Gimel, Aleph, Vav, Hey, the gematria is 15. 3, Aleph is 1, Vav is 6, and Hey, it comes out to be 15. Hey is 5. And if you take the gematria of Yud and a Hey, is 15. What happened here? I'm just going to jump through. What happened was the rest of them became arrogant. The rest of the Nesiim. All of a sudden they became arrogant. But Moshe saw something in his student Yehoshua, and he told him, you know, you're not arrogant. I'm going to throw something at you. We're going to explain all this in a second. So we have 2 questions here. One is, why change his name? Why him of all people? Why changing his name? And why we're praying for him? And now we're going to see. So there's a Zohar, and I didn't have a chance to bring the Zohar down. I brought the Gemara down, but I didn't bring the Zohar down. And the Zohar writes, all of the people Moshe sent were originally very righteous, very good people. They were such tzaddikim, they were chosen. They were eligible. They were going to do the right job. And what happened that they devised the evil plot against Eretz Yisrael? They said, if the Jews are going to go to Eretz Yisrael, they're going to have to do new elections. Like we have now, election season coming up. And if we're going to have new elections, we only had a zechut to be the Nesi'im only in the desert. We did not have a zechut in Eretz Yisrael. We're going to lose our power. Because they're going to lose their status, they devised a plan to stay out there. And because the Kubalim write the following, Sheshem Yud Kei, the name of Yud Hey, Eno Shore al Ba'alei Ga'ava, does not go on people that are Ga'ava, haughty, arrogant. Because the Gematria of Ga'ava is Yud Hey. And you can't have them both together at the same time. If a person wants to have with him the success of a Kadosh Baruch Hu putting on you the Yud K, which really means Anava, to be someone who's a Anav, you can't be someone who's Baal Ga'ava. Baal Ga'ava is the antithesis of Hatzlacha. The one who has his nose up in the air, and the one who's arrogant, and the one who shows off. This person is the least to receive success. And all that he has is just momentarily. It's just temporary. It disappears. True success is found in someone who carries with him Hashem. And who's that? It's exactly what Moshe Rabbeinu saw. He looked at the 12, he said, you know, I'm sending these people to spy. 2 things could happen. Either something good or something bad. I don't know. Could be all of them will go bad. Could them, some of them will go bad. Could be a little bit of them will go bad. But I know one thing. I know I have a student, Yehoshua. Yehoshua is Anav. If anything, he's going to be the one that's going to go easy on this, and he won't fall into that trap. I'm going to add to him 1 letter, Yud. He didn't pray for him. He gave him the 1 letter, and now he automatically receives that protection from Hashem, not to fall into the category of being arrogant and to being haughty. So being a Kli Makabel, being someone that's able to, someone that's possible, and therefore we answer the questions. What do we say? Why pray and add a name? He didn't. He did one thing. What did he do? Just added one letter, the letter Yud. And when he added the letter Yud, automatically a prayer was added to Yoshua. So he had some sort of success. As he writes in his own words, with the one letter added to his name, but combined with his original letter of Hey, now it becomes that he's deserved to have Hashem rest on him, and he's deserved to have the success, and one reason and one reason only. Thank you, because of humility. He's humble, and we see that Yoshua was the humble one, and because he was the humble one, Moshe chose that. What about Kalev? As you see in the Pesukim, Kalev, Moshe didn't know if he's anav or not. Does he deserve an extra letter? But Kalev on his own, as you'll see in the Pesukim, the Gemara says he went. It says plural, and then he stopped over singular in Hebron. He went to pray by the forefathers, Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, and he said, "Please, I feel these guys are here for ulterior reasons. Save me from them." Yes. Gemara Sota, Lamed Hey, Lamed Bet, Lamed Hey, actually. Lamed Bet, yeah, I was looking at it the entire day. Beautiful Gemara. The entire episode here is on Lamed Daled and Lamed Hey. The Gemara starts off telling you, 3 times the Kohanim traveled with the Aron. Usually it's Leviim. 3 times. And when they traveled, they split the water of the Jordan. The Gemara says the Jordan water was split. It made waves like a tower going up to Shemaim. Every king in the far east and far west saw this tower. It was a crazy, spectacular thing. The reason why they mentioned that is because after this episode, the Kohanim will do that. And again, it's split 3 times. Then the Gemara goes, I was talking about the Meraglim. So I'll read you the Gemara, and then we'll get back to the Zera Shimshon. I think it'll be a quick read. So the Gemara says, Shelach l'anashim, Amar Reish Lakish, Reish Lakish says, Shlach lecha mida'atcha. You're sending it out of your discretion, meaning I'm not commanding you send these guys. You want it, I'm okay with it, but it's your thing. You wanted it. Moshe Rabbeinu insisted. They had reasons behind it. Moshe Rabbeinu wanted to maybe, the real reason is we're not all holy. Therefore, we can't expect a big miracle. Therefore, miracle's going to come in the face of nature. So if they're going to come in the way of nature, then we should really go and spy on the land, because if we're going to do this naturally, we need to know where the weaknesses are. And that became the big problem, because what happened was, these people, they said, oh my gosh, we came there. We looked like grasshoppers in their eyes. Everywhere we turned, so Kalev says, we did you a miracle. Yeah. What was the miracle? We'll see in a second. Same thing with letters. We're going to see in a second. There's the second Drush of the Zera Shimshon. We did, what miracles? You mean you can't live in Israel without a miracle? Oh my gosh, this land is going to kill us. We need miracles to live here. They got stuck in this turf, and everyone started crying. What was the miracle? The Gemara says either Eov died, everyone came to funeralize, give a funeral to the guy, and show respect, eulogize the guy. Eov was a great big tzaddik. Eov has a sefer. And they were all busy. And that's how they know that they were grasshoppers in their eyes, because how do they know what they're thinking? They were on a tree. They used the tree as a table for these great Amorites. And they said, I think we saw people that look like grasshoppers walking around here next to us. So they heard it. And the miracle, or Hashem made a miracle that every one of their leaders started dying. And they said the opposite. They said, what kind of place is this? All their leaders are dying. It's not the poor people on the street that have no money and probably died out of starvation. We're talking about the wealthy ones. We're talking about the ones that are well-to-do. They're the ones that are dying. Oh, they're the ones that are dying. This place is bad. So they took, and just like they went with evil intentions, they ended it off with evil intentions, the Gemara said. They started to give their own opinions. This land is going to kill us. This land is so bad. Look at how bad everything is. Now, Kalev was a very smart man. Yoshua, they shut him down. You can't talk, you have no kids, you have no stake in the game. Kalev opened his mouth. Kalev, he said, they're going to shut me down too, so I'm going to play a trick on them. And he said, he opened his mouth to them, and he said, you, Ben Amram. Ooh, he's not saying Moshe. He's on our side. Shh. Shh. Let him talk. You took us out of Egypt. You split the sea. You gave us the man. You're 1,000% going to help us get into Israel. We can do this. And they all went, whoa, 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 what are you talking about? No, you're supposed to go against him. No, and you can't. We can't go in. That's the Pesukim. They were going crazy on this. Now what happened? Hashem gave them a miracle. Hashem said, I'm going to give you Yud Kei Vav Kei, Hashem's name. You can walk around and you'll be protected. Nobody will detect you. Nobody will see you. Nobody will hurt you. You are perfect. And they took that also and they said, oh, without this we can't. You have to understand, this is the reason why sometimes in Eretz Yisrael, the person can read Hebrew, knows everything, and it's hard for him to follow religion. But the guy moves to America, he's in shul. I'll tell you a guy that we all know, a famous singer, Avihu Medina, the guy who we do, he composed that thing. Or Shabechi, right? Or the other one, old Bukharians like to do that one. Right, so he composed all these songs. He says, I'm a family from Yemenites. I lived in Bnei Brak. I went to the best yeshivot. I'm in Israel. I don't want to walk in the shul. I come to America. I don't want to leave the shul. A phenomenon. This is nothing new. It already comes from here. They said, we're not going to live like that. We can't live all the time holy. We can't. And if we're going to do it natural, we're grasshoppers in their eyes. There is absolutely no way. And we said the opposite. Look, Hashem made a miracle. They all died naturally. They all were busy with their funerals naturally. You'll get it naturally with miracles. They said, no, can't be, and they just lost themselves. And what day was this? Gemara writes this, he brings it down.
When they came back to Kuwait?
This was Tisha B'Av. Tisha B'Av, someone's ringing the bell there. Did you lock the door there? Tisha B'Av. And the Gemara says, what did you do? You cried for nothing? Chas v'shalom. I'm going to make you cry.
Is it the reason why we fasted because of this as well?
Exactly. This is why we have Tisha B'Av. This is why we have Tisha B'Av. And not only that, by the way, for those who learn Zohar, you'll see the word in Bereshit, when Adam and Chava hide, Hashem uses the word ayeka. Also alludes to Eicha, which we read on Tisha B'Av. There are certain things that are set in that calendar that until we don't do a certain type of teshuvah, it won't get erased. I'm always going to follow that. Which is what happened, precisely why Moshe Rabbeinu sent these 12. If you recall, there were 12 brothers, one didn't go. There were 11. One was too small. Yosef and his brother Binyamin was too small. And they went against Yosef. And it was about Lashon Hara. And they sold him. Moshe sends these 12. Hashem says, I want to do here a tikkun. These 12 should go. And they should come back and not say Lashon Hara. Not only that.
Who were the two that did it?
Oh, very good. So, because Levi doesn't get land in Eretz Yisrael, who's Levi going to go into? So Levi goes into Yosef's second son, to Ephraim. For Ephraim, Yoshua ben Nun had the brother Levi's soul went inside him. Oh, this is the second answer that he gives the Zera Shimshon. You're coming here to fix Levi. I, Moshe Rabbeinu, am part of Levi. I want to make our tikkun. And so he went and prayed and changed his name and saved the day with Yoshua ben Nun in order to save and to fix at least one of the brothers that were involved. The two brothers, Shimon and Levi, Achim, Torah writes, Kelei Hamas b'choroteim. If these two brothers were together, they could destroy the world. Shimon was put into jail because Yosef knew it, and Shimon and Levi were together. They killed out the entire Shechem. They killed out the entire Canaan. 32 states brought to them taxes until they left to Egypt. Because of the story with Dinah, there was a 7-day war, the Midrash writes, and no movie has this. This is like better than the movies. Like, Yaakov had an arrow that he went through the giants, and the giants split in half. And Yehuda went and minced them into diced meat. And Naphtali was like that guy from the 6 American heroes from Marvel, from Spider-Man, the one that does the sonic sound and everyone falls down. Naphtali had that. The other one was running up walls. The other one was they all got it from us. All of it. And over there, yeah, you're laughing, but it's true. Okay, and this war, and the kings were brought to the knees, and they said, guys, okay, we get it. You're better than us. We'll pay you taxes. Leave us alone. Don't kill us anymore. And they backed down. Okay, and then they went to Egypt. Comes Moshe Rabbeinu and says, this is from my shevet. This is my shevet. I am going to save. And I'm going to make that they should have a tikkun. So one answer was, he didn't do two things. He did one thing. He added an extra letter, Yud, and automatically Yoshua was like able to receive, because he's humble, he's able to receive. So we learned a great deal of humility in a person will give him success. But then we have another answer, and that's brought from other Perushim, that you know what happened here? Because he is from representing Levi, and therefore he is making a tikkun for his people, and Moshe said, I'm going to do whatever it takes to save you. Kalev and Yoshua were both went in front of Hashem, in front of the rest of them, and they were testifying how good the land was, and both of them were supposed to answer back. Yoshua had nothing to say, because he has no kids, no stake in the game. Some of them made fun of him, other ways. But the real thing the Zohar writes is because the letter Yud from Sarai was there and he wasn't able to have children. But Kalev came to rescue. Kalev saw what they're up to, and he was able to save the day. And he said, no, we could do this. And that's a great lesson to learn, because it's all in your mind. If you say you can do this, it's going to happen. You'll be able to do it. You'll find the way. It'll work out. I can't. Everything becomes your problem. It says straight out in the Shulchan Aruch. It's brought down in Mesilas Yesharim Perek Zayin, and it says over there, mitzvah haba liyadecha, a mitzvah that comes to your hands, al tachmitena. Don't allow it to become chametz. What's chametz? It rises. And it becomes something that's too big. I remember watching the Uncle Moshe video. I was very, very little. This is when we had tapes, VHS. And the song was, and the mess grew bigger every single day. And he couldn't stop because it just got bigger. He had a little mess in the room. His mom said, clean it. It's the real characters. He opened the closet door, threw it in there. And then it got more messier in the room. Put away your stuff. Okay, Mom. Takes more, throws it in the closet, throws it in the closet. One day that closet opens on him, everything falls on his head and buries him in there. It's too much. When you leave a mitzvah and you don't, I'll get to it, it becomes too big, it never happens. I know for the story, I had a student, this is going back to probably early 2000s, I had a student in the Mir Yeshiva, great kid. I love this guy. I talked to him till today. He's my only friend that's still on Microsoft Hangout. Oh no, Google Hangout. No one else uses that. This kid, he was destined to go to one of the top high schools in Brooklyn. Top high schools. They don't take more than 4 of their own students from that elementary of theirs. He was in Mir with us. I was his teacher. And they told me he's going to that yeshiva. I said, he got tested? No, not yet. I tell him, when are you going to get tested? Rabbi, I know my stuff. Don't worry about it. I'll get in. Okay. Comes January time. This is already way late. It should have been this already October, November, December, that before the first report card should come out. You already should be tested. This way, they don't have a report card on you. They see you no good. Oh, well, wait. Or they look at last year's and boom, when you show you this year's first term, it's all the way up. They take you on the spot. It's a trick. He didn't go. January, didn't go. February, didn't go. March, he's on the internet. 8th grader. It's going to be troublesome. Met up with the wrong people. Some opposite gender older than him by many years. Took him out entirely from academia, period. His mind was messed up with. On the streets of Ocean Parkway. His uncle calls me. I used to work for his uncle in the school. You know my nephew. Please go talk to him and save him. I went there. I bought him pizza. I sat with him. He goes, Rabbi, 3 months ago is not today. Everything changed. I looked at him and I said, I know exactly what happened. Mitzvah haba liyadecha al tachmitzena. If you leave it too long, it starts to rise, levitate. You know, the dough starts to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Oh, I can't do it. It's uncontrollable. I can't do anything with it, and you lost out. But a person that does zerizut, alacrity, right away gets to do things, then he's 100% successful. He never pushed anything off to tomorrow. Everything was done right away. A person who does things right away, he will be successful. As we see, Yoshua and Kalev, they did not want to delay entering Israel. Now that we finish this, I'll tell you one more pshat. Not from here. There's another shot at what happened with these Nasiim. What got into them? Tzaddikim. What got into them? There's a Perush that says, really, they're still great tzaddikim. They would have rather gotten in trouble but stay in the desert. Why? They looked at the Torah, and the Torah says you're going to become a farmer, a builder, a worker. You're going to bring this Maaser, Terumah, and the other thing, and they're like, wait a second. We receive the Torah, we're learning it 24/7, we're enjoying. We're getting the man like we showed by Shelach the sheet, those magical little things, the round thing, and they're enjoying life. You mean this all stops the moment we cross that border, that river? Our shoes never got holes, no dry cleaner. Everything we ate was holy, so therefore there was no waste. They didn't have to use a bathroom. Nothing bad came into them, no candida, no skin problem, no acne, no smack. Nothing. No diseases, no headaches, no fainting, no hospitals. Whoa. The moment we go to Israel, what's going to happen? We're going to now work on the land. We're going to get beaten by ticks and mosquitoes. And we have to work hard. We're going to sweat the brow. Who needs that? We love our life the way it is right now. Don't change it on us. So there are those who say they wanted to stay with Torah as close as much as possible. When the Jews came back after World War II, the Satmar Rebbe, he saw the older folks. He told them, the real halacha is you cover your hair with the handkerchief, the kerchief. You're not supposed to wear the wigs because they look better than real hair. What's the point? The men are all looking at you again. You have to know the laws. And then when he spoke to the younger generation, he took one good look at the younger generation, and he said to himself, after the trauma of the war, it's going to take them a couple of generations to get back to normal. Yeah, you can wear the wig, sure, just do a favor. Put at least one thing over your wig so we know it's not your real hair. A hat or a little band they put, something like that, so we know it's not your real hair. Why the discrepancies? What happened here? Because he saw the generation. He saw these ones could keep it, This ones need a little bit of time. So we have to realize the story that we're going to read, the Shelach, and the next one with Korach. You can't say these people were Rasha'im and all that. Yeah, they were arrogant, the Zohar writes. Yeah. At the time that they went, something entered their mind. Before that, he writes, they were all tzaddikim. And they were tzaddikim. Or Hashem would not have chosen them. And they would not have been Nasi'im. And nothing would go through them. But as they were going there, they started to think. And if you don't have the right thoughts, and if you don't have the right thoughts, then you're bound to make those mistakes. And what do we do in our lives to keep those thoughts correct? To come to shirim, come to learning, come to tefillah, find the right place, and plug in. Because then you're always leaving with positive notes, you're always leaving with growth, and the rest of your lives and days will be all successful. Thank you all for listening. Baruch Adonai Le'olam. Amen. Amen.